Me at this time, hip-hop artist from South Carolina, now resides in Kentucky. He's got a lot of new music on the way. Goes by the name of PK. He's with me right now. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thank you so much taking the time doing the show with me. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Not a problem, man.
And before I get to the first question, I want to tell a story on how you and I kind of first met. And it all started at Cosmic Charlie's Lexi Fest Rap and Rock Show. And, Drex was there, Rowdy Yates was there, Zen Highway, a plethora of local hip hop and rock acts were there. And I'm having a good time, enjoying myself. I think David McLean was on stage and he mentioned your name, and and then next thing you know, I'm on my smartphone, I'm on the Facebook, and you posted out that you were there, and I responded on you like, dude, I'm there too, and I kind of figured out who you were. You was wearing slippers at the time. You was wearing an orange shirt, and then we started messaging each other, and that's how we kind of met. Uh,
Yeah,
so
we didn't even know we were standing side by side. How
yeah,
about that?
yeah, man. What a small world we live in. But I'm definitely a fan of yours. I've listened to a majority of your music. I think the first song I heard of you was the Cold War anthem song, and it's PK coming straight from the Carolinas. I'm like, yeah, that's that dude right there. Um, and I know you got some music on the way. We definitely gonna get into that. So how did you guys started into doing music?
Well, let's see here, man. It takes it way back to. I'm 29 years old now. At the age of 17, I wrote my first hip hop lyric. Growing up, I was a typical rural country white boy. Growing up hunting, fishing, and all that good stuff. And then somewhere down the line, I got introduced to hip hop culture. Man, I started listening to hip hop music, and I started really relating to what a lot of the guys were saying in a different way. We came up from the trailer park, and so everybody talking about coming up with not a lot of money, not the greatest clothes, and I kind of started relating to that. And next thing you know, I was just kind of sitting at a party one night and decided to just on the whim write a rap to Ja Rule's 100 Guns, 100 Clips. I'm from New York, New York. And it was really, everybody was blown away by it. And here I am, 17-year-old kid, never wrote a rap lyric before in my life, and I just kind of wrote at 16 without even having to, it just kind of came to me as far as how many bars to write. I knew exactly where to stop, and from then on, it was kind of like a passion to write hip-hop lyrics. And I've always had vocal training. I was in choir and concert choir and performing choir from kindergarten all the way through up through college. And so here, more recently, I've been kind of taking a turn towards some R&B and soul, doing a lot of singing, and folks will hit me up and I'll be commissioned to sing hooks for them, and that's where a lot of my focus has been for this past year, since I really started trying to get out there and be heard in this past year, because it was a lot of times I didn't believe in myself because I wasn't seeing the support, and but I was my own worst enemy. And once I started realizing that I had a lot more people in my corner than I had originally thought, and I started seeing the support by when I was handing out my mixtapes in South Carolina this year. My first mixtape is available at Bandcamp, patrickkelvin.bandcamp.com. It's called First One's on Me. It's a free download. But I started handing that out in South Carolina, and I realized that all these people I was handing out these mixtapes to, half the people that they were letting them listen to in turn were like, yeah, I'd heard about him. And that really sparked me, and it made me realize that I do have a bigger audience than I had originally imagined. And it made me feel good about myself. And, seeing guys like Hybrid. Hybrid was the one in Kentucky. He showed me, he really showed me that if you grind out there, you really get noticed. So big props to Hybrid on getting me involved with the Cold World video and kind of getting me intertwined into the music scene, man. It's been real good this year.
Absolutely, and I definitely love the Cold record. the Cold War Worker. I definitely love the unity. I love that every artist brought something different to that song, and that just the bond that you guys have, and as well as Reva, she was the only female on that song, and I didn't realize that there was that many hip hop artists in the Lexington slash Frankfurt area, and it was just it was it was a good sight. It was very encouraging, and you definitely did your thing on that record as well, and not forgetting your South Carolina roots, obviously. Uh, so as far as musically is concerned, when can we expect some new music? Um, you got some songs that you're gonna come out by year's end, or you got some new music lined up for next year?
Oh yeah, I definitely have a few collaborations that I've done with a couple other artists that are going to be out by the end of this year. But as far as my solo work, I'm taking time to write that. At the moment, my first solo album, I don't have a release date for it yet, but I've got a few producers that are on board, and they're helping me out with the music side of it. And you know, it's still in the early stages, but it'll definitely be made available to everyone to check out. And the best place folks can find out about it is my Facebook page, and that's Patrick Kelvin, comma PK. You just type that into your search, Patrick Kelvin, comma PK, and like my Facebook page. All the new releases and stuff will come out there, man. And but yeah, this new album, I'm really seeing myself kind of meandering down more towards the singing and the soulfulness, and I don't know, I'm just embracing my voice, and I've always blended harmonies in with my hip hop lyrics, and here lately it just seems like every instrumental I hear is inspiring me to sing more than rap, which is cool, you know. I mean, I'm always down to embrace that. It targets a whole different target audience, and I did a remix actually to a pop song, Sia. Um, it's called Elastic Heart, and a lot of people might have seen that. It had Shia LaBeouf and the girl from the little girls who dance on TV, Dance Moms. Yeah, it had the girl from her on the video. But anyway, I did a remake of that, and that kind of opened it up, and it started showing me that, you know, and I was actually flowing on that, and there was a lot of people who probably would have never even given rap a chance. And the fact that I just mingled that with a popular pop song, you know, it just showed me that hip-hop can reach across and really connect with people if they just take the time to listen. And that's what I really want to do with this new album, is just kind of flex my versatility, where I can kind of sneak some hip-hop in there on some people who wouldn't normally listen to it, man, so they can actually hear some real music and turn the radio off and listen to this nice underground music that we got going on here in Kentucky.
That's awesome, man. Definitely looking forward to it. A couple of songs I also like from you. I think this was part of Drake's Music Mondays post, a song you did with him called "I'm Gone," and y'all two actually performed that song, I think, on the Mayday show in Louisville a while back. And then another song you did with Drex and Hybrid, part of a group called The Workshop, Just for Fun. Y'all did the music video for that. I definitely like the vibe of that record as well. And I give you mad kudos, because some artists want to, as far as hip hop, wants to stay in one lane, but one minute you're rapping, next thing you know what, you're singing. You definitely proved to be to do both sides, and that's very refreshing. That's, you know, that shows versatility on your part, and that you definitely get mad kudos for that from me. As far as musically is concerned, I want to ask you this from a hip hop fan's aspect. A lot has went down in hip hop this year. A lot of good, a lot of bad, comes with the territory. But what do you want to see more of hip hop come 2016? Uh, like either more substance, more new faces, like more challenges. Like, what do you want to see more from hip hop in 2016?
Well, as far as a whole, I really want to see hip hop in the mainstream start to get a little bit more positive light on the genre itself, because, as it sits now, folks who don't know much about the underground aspect and, artists who bring positivity like Lupe Fiasco, guys of that nature, they just don't play enough of that on the radio, man. There's a lot of really good hip-hop out there, but they want to force feed the trap music, the turn-up music, and in my opinion, the music that keeps the hip-hop culture down, really, in this vicious cycle of, violence and glorifying gangster lifestyle. And there's a time and place for that. We can all escape and be Scarface every once and again, and me coming up, I've been in a lot of situations in Western Louisville and in my hometown, Spartanburg, South Carolina, where, I've been put in situations like that. And I got to tell you, I'd much rather stay out of situations like that. But for some reason, this media wants to continue pushing music on this generation that's keeping them, from an early age, really kind of glorifying that trap lifestyle, man. That's just not the way to go. It's one thing to talk about what you've done in the past, but I want to see more hip-hop artists talk about more so on how they overcome that to get out of that so they can move on and actually live a lot more productive life as far as society goes, So I guess that's the number one thing I want to see out of hip-hop in 2016 is just a little bit more positive image so that folks who aren't intertwined into the underground and can see how sensitive and how emotional and just caring that some hip hop can be, we got to get people who are from outside the genre who aren't intertwined in it to get to listening for some of the stuff that's not on the radio, so they can actually open up their horizons and see what the culture is really all about. It's not just all about who can spend the most money in the club, and it's not just all about who can shoot the most people. It goes a lot deeper than that.
Hey man, I totally agree with you. I feel like we get enough of the turn up slash trap. I'm guilty. I like some of the songs that type of music, but definitely when I was young. But as I get older, as I get more wiser as a man, like eventually I want to hear some substance. I want to hear some message behind the music, like overcoming adversity and what you're gonna do for the community and things like that. And
yeah, and it doesn't always have to be like that, But I just want to see a more even balance, because right now it's more like 90% trap music and 10% uplifting, positive, or activism type of hip hop, and that's what I want to see, is a little better balance. And honestly, I don't think we're going to see it from the mainstream media, because they all have their agendas, and they want to keep people down, and they want to keep people in the system and all that, which it's up to us as underground artists to really kind of make a push and try to change that.
Absolutely, and fortunately, there are some artists that is bringing some substance, bringing some variety, and just be about being an MC. I'm very happy for artists like a J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, those type of guys. I'm even starting to listen to a guy named Logic just recently. I'm definitely a fan of his. He's definitely underrated. He may not be a big name and all, but he's definitely someone to be heard. And just those type of guys. And it's just a matter of you know radio people, like, they talk about putting stuff out there, doing their jobs, but there's more to what we hear, what we see, and things like that. And it's definitely up to the underground to really to push people into listen to some uplifting, more meaningful type of records. And obviously it's a struggle. It's definitely a struggle. I guess if you're not a big name, if you're not talking about so and so or whatever, then your songs ain't gonna get played. So, and that's unfortunate, because there's a lot of talented artists out there, but for some reason they don't get heard because of what, and certain artists. Like, not every song people put out is gonna be meaningful or whatever. It could be about
Right.
sex, violence, and all things like that. So, I mean, it's definitely gonna be a struggle, but me as a hip hop fan, I want to see more versatility. I want to see fans challenge artists to come up with something different. Because without us fans, artists, they don't get that paycheck. They don't get what they want. So I guess I just want to see fans challenge artists, to come up with something refreshing. But I guess we're waiting to see, I suppose. Um, so um, the w- I want to talk sports with you because I know you're a sports fan.
Yes, sir.
You are a fan of Clemson. Um, that's your team.
Oh, that's my hometown, baby.
Hometown.
About an hour. I live about. Or I was born and raised about an hour, 15 minutes from Clemson campus. I actually went to the University of South Carolina, is where I did some college. So they didn't like me too much around there. That'd be like a Louisville fan going to Kentucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, number one in the nation, go Tigers.
Okay, that being said, and they are still undefeated from my understanding. Um, you think this could be that year? You think they have what it takes to go all the way to win the table this year?
I absolutely do. It's all up to them. Our coach Dabo Swinney's got them trending upward, man, and that's the most positive thing I take out of this year. Even if we do take a loss, I'm going to be devastated, and I'm probably going to cry for a week, just because this just seems like our year, to run the table and at least make that national championship game. If we make it that far and we lose in the national championship game, sure, I'll be devastated. But man, hey, you know what? We're trending upward. We've been ranked in the top 15 for the past 3 or 4 years. We've been recruiting well. Our coach has us trending upward, and we got let's see, we've got South Carolina to end the year, and we have Wake Forest next week. So we really don't have much competition until the ACC championship game, which will be probably North Carolina, who actually only has one loss all year long. So it'll be interesting, man. But I really hope and pray that we meet Ohio State, because I can't stand Ohio State. But it'd be nice to kind of knock their fan base down a little bit, because they're one of those type that don't want to give the Tigers any credit, which is cool. I try to let my boys do the talking on the field. And on another note, I'm a big Carolina Panthers fan, so there's another undefeated team for the football season. So yeah, it's been a real nice football season for OPK.
Well, it's funny you say Ohio State because I happen to be a Buckeyes fan, but I do want to point out.
Oh my!
But I'm not.
Well, see,
you know.
like I said, hey, it's most of you all's fans that do not give Clemson any credit. I can't speak for you, but I can say if we will have a great playoff game if it comes down to it. So I can't wait.
No, I will say this. I'm not one of those fans that be like not giving Clemson credit or whatsoever. Uh, y'all guys have been very impressive, and at this moment, y'all deserve the number one spot. Ohio State. I will say this: if JT Barrett can just keep it going, they can repeat. But Clemson definitely stands in our way. So
Yeah, you remember what happened last time we met, correct?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
fully aware.
Okay.
I don't even know who the quarterback was at the time, but I feel it definitely wasn't Cardale Jones. It definitely wasn't J.T. Barrett. But I will say
No,
this.
them boys, hey,
Yeah.
JT's doing his thing, man. If he can stay off the sauce and driving, man.
yeah. He's got to lay that off. He's got to stay off the whiskey or alcohol, whatever it was he was drinking. But we'll see. We'll see. And also on the football side, we do have some similar things. You are a Panthers fan. Cam Newton's looking pretty good right now. I expect the Panthers to be good, but without Benjamin and the way Cam has been performing, and you got Stewart, you got Olsen, and y'all doing great without that disrespectful, poor excuse of a human being named Greg Hardy. Man.
Oh God! Thank God! Thank God that piece of crap
Yeah.
loser is off of our team. I posted on social media the other
Yeah.
day, like, how many dads out there want their daughter's abuser if their daughter happened to be abused, making millions of dollars playing the privileged position of being in the NFL. I mean, it don't make any sense to me. It don't make any sense to a lot of people. But hey, we live in a world of second chances.
Yeah, it's
But you know
unfortunate.
what? That man hasn't done anything to earn a second chance, really. He hasn't been apologetic for anything he's
No.
done. He's always, I, hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
He's got his second chance. Dallas is obviously going to bat for him, which is kind of disgusting to me. But hey, that's Dallas for you.
Yeah, pretty much. And I seen the pictures of his ex-girlfriend, and I mean, it was hard to watch. It was just devastating. And he's definitely haven't proved that he's worthy of the second chance. And what's even more crazy is that the Cowboys are starting to consider keeping him around long term. Um, Cowboys have played like 4 games with him. They still haven't won a game. His former team has won 12 straight regular season games dating back to last year. Hardy didn't play none of them. So Panthers, they're going the right direction with Cam Newton. So, and look,
Yeah, big props to
yeah,
Cam. I mean,
yeah,
he's not done it in the most pretty fashion. His
yeah,
numbers aren't blowing anybody away.
no,
But that's the mark of a champion, man. I mean, he won the champion at Auburn, and he's got a championship in his blood. It's taken him a few years to finally get the grasp on the NFL game. But hey, man, you got basically a 6'5" linebacker running at you. So he's gonna get his hard-earned yards. That's for sure.
your your pro football team is doing pretty well. My pro football team, not so much. And it just so happened to be in the same division of yours. That will be the Saints. They had a winning streak going, and then they lost to Tennessee. Like, that defense is terrible. I am asking for Rob One to be fired immediately. He has had
Yeah,
one.
y'all need Bounty Gate again.
I don't know. We need something. We need something. Like, Drew Brees can only do so much. Like, y'all gonna they gonna kill his arm by the time the season. He's probably gonna end up with another arm surgery or something. Like, I don't know, man. I'm hoping for a wild card spot. You guys can have the division title again. I just want a wild card, and then if anyone has a chance. That's all I want, is a wild card spot. Falcons are starting to fall apart, so maybe there's some hope there. But
Wow,
you
can you
know,
believe it?
yeah,
from
but
from the run they was on at the beginning. See, they look like there was nobody going to beat them, and then
yeah.
all of a sudden they're just like losing every game they play now.
Well, I guess that's what we should expect from the Falcons. They always get to these good starts, and then you lose to Blaine Gabbert, which is totally inexcusable. Like, if Colin Kaepernick is one thing, given that his struggles, but you lose to Blaine Gabbert, that's inexcusable. You can't lose to that guy. He hasn't played in.
Yeah, folks just realize that if you shut down Julio Jones, you basically shut down the
Yeah,
offense.
yeah, Jones and Freeman. Like, you shut those two
Yeah.
guys down, you shut those two guys down, Falcons in trouble. Um,
Well,
but
let's take a turn towards a little bit more local, man. Do you think a lot of people are saying that Cincinnati may run the table? What do you think about that?
with the way that the AFC North is looking, they, I think they may have 1 or 2 losses. But until I see them perform in the postseason, they're not going to touch New England. Nobody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The postseason's a different story for sure.
Brady is on a revenge for all the people that called him out over Deflategate. I
Can we
will,
just go ahead and say it that Brady is the best to ever play it?
yeah.
I mean, we may as well.
Might
At
as
least in the past,
Yeah.
20 years, I can't think of
Yes.
anybody that's done it better.
He's pretty much the Joe Montana of this era right now. 6th round draft pick. 150 plus players were selected before him. and his resume speaks for itself despite the certain cheating. You know, I'm gonna say that to certain Patriot fans out there.
Yeah, that's coming on tomorrow.
You know, so we'll see. But PK,
You think the Giants are going to beat? You really think the Giants are going to beat them, brother?
I think they have a shot. You know, if they can.
They always do, don't they?
They always do. It's, you know, last time they faced an undefeated Patriots team, they won. For some reason, Patriots fans brag about beating Peyton, but they can't seem to beat little brother. He's 3-1 against Brady, and 2 of those 3 wins
you know
come in
what?
the Super Bowl.
You would never think that Tom Coughlin would be the daddy of Bill Belichick, but he sure has been.
Yes, he has. And you got Odell Beckham. Put that ball up in his hands, and he's gonna make some plays. Put that ball in his
just
hands.
put it in his vicinity.
Yeah.
He's got so much stickum sprayed on his glove. He
Yeah.
just got to stick his hand out there, and there it is.
Yeah, and you know JPP already with his 3-finger self already talking like he was like, man, I hope we can beat him. Like, but you know that we'll see. I think they're capable of beating them. I don't see, you know, if they don't beat if the Giants don't beat them, I don't see anyone else beating them for the rest of the season. Not even Denver, with the way they lost to Indianapolis. I can't see it. I can't see it whatsoever.
No, I called it earlier this year. I think they'll repeat as much as it makes me sick on my stomach because I just don't like New England for obvious reasons because they win all the time and all the cheating rumors and all that stuff and the way their demeanor and they're better than everyone else. And there's no humility involved with that organization and that I really don't like that. But hey, you know, nobody's going to be on top of the world till they bring them down.
You know how embarrassing, how difficult that's going to be for Roger Goodell and Super Bowl 50, and you got to hand that trophy to Brady again after all that is.
Smile.
And he got no choice. No choice.
Smile about it.
Yes.
Oh, Lordy. Well, you know what? That's probably going to happen too, man, because I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Panthers might just do it. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, there are 2 teams I like: Saints and anyone that beats the Patriots.
I know that's right.
So, thank you for your time, PK. Everybody be on the lookout for that solo album coming soon. In the meantime, go check it out on SoundCloud, Bandcamp, Facebook, all under the name PK. PatrickKelvin.bandcamp.com. Go download that free mixtape, and hopefully I'll see you perform sometime, man. Just let me know, and